Great. Okay, lovely. Well, welcome everybody to our session this evening, all about how to earn with doTERRA. So if you could just put in the chat whether you are already building with doTERRA, you're already earning, or whether you're new, or whether you're just interested, whether you're enrolled. Maybe there's people here who haven't even got a doTERRA account yet. Just chuck in the chat whereabouts you're at so that we've got a little bit of an idea of how everyone's doing. So slowly building. I love it, Imelda. Great. Already have an account and loving it. I'm new but have the starter kit and a few other bits. Great. Brand new, one family pack in. That's perfect place to be, Karina. Enrolled, starting my wellness advocate journey. I love it. Slowly building. Oh, hi Lynn, it's good to see you. Just enjoying the oils and learning about them, Connie. Beautiful. Okay, so a nice little mix. Sharon just bought the oils and just
how do I say what I'm doing?
Oh, what was that? Sorry. Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, you didn't know me, Mike. How do I let you know what I've done?
Oh, in the chat. If you press the chat button,
sorry,
and just type it in.
me off.
No,
sorry.
That's all good. We're all learning. We're all developing, so that's great. Yeah, if you can use the chat, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope today is going to help you. For those who don't know me, I'm Alison Bartolo. So these are my three gorgeous munchkins when we were traveling around Australia a few years ago. So I'm going to share about my story with you today, and actually just, really just share with you how it's been for me. Everybody's journey is different, but I hope it's going to give you an idea of what's possible. So here are our family. I'm Alison Bartolo, so I'm mum of three. I'm a wife to the lovely Anthony Bartolo, who has been very involved in the business. So we joined doTERRA about 10 years ago now. It was actually 10 years in September, so it's just our 10-year anniversary. And we built to Diamond in 2.5 years. Oh, I think the screen's just gone a bit funny. Is that better? So 2.5 years it took us to build a diamond business, and this basically allowed us to sell our family business in 2017, and we were both home full-time with our children when they were little and just working with doTERRA and our beautiful oils community. And in 2020, when the rest of the world was locked down in their houses, well, we had the income coming in, and instead of just homeschooling locked in our home, we decided to uproot everything. We sold pretty much everything we owned and bought a van and decided to just travel around Australia, and just lived in a van for 18 months as a family of 5. So this, I'm just going to totally gloat and give you a few little snapshots of our life in 2020 and 2021, thanks to doTERRA. So we did a lap from Brisbane up to Cape York, and then did a lap all the way around to Darwin, pretty much. So at the end of 2021, we then moved to the UK, and so that's where we are now, and that's where we're continuing to now build our doTERRA business. I think it's a really exciting time to be in the UK. It's very much a small market here, and it has a lot of the same flavour that Australia had before it really took off and launched and was, really just kind of exploded. And I just feel all the inklings of that happening here. So I think it's just such a brilliant time to be in Europe in general, but in the UK particularly. So just to backtrack, before all of that happened, so my background is actually in project management. So I very much was in the corporate world, working for American Express and a telecoms telecom company. And I quite enjoyed the corporate world, actually, until I became a mum. And then I just really hated leaving my baby in childcare. I hated leaving her crying. I hated the long days. I really resented having to ask and apply for holidays to spend time with my own family. I didn't enjoy the commute. When I went back part-time after having a baby, I was basically demoted and given just way more menial tasks because I wasn't there full-time. And that it just didn't sit as well with me after going back from my first baby. So in 2010, my husband and I had been talking a lot about setting up our own business and becoming our own bosses. And so we actually bought a cafe in Australia, in Brisbane. So we thought we had bought freedom. And we were very excited about it, and we were very passionate about it, and we did really, really love this cafe. But in reality, what we had bought was a job with 100% responsibility, no guaranteed income, a lot of work, and a lot of costs associated as well. So we did now have the holidays. We didn't have to ask anyone permission to have time off. I was at all the assemblies, all the little awards ceremonies, and we had that flexibility, and I was super grateful for that, because that is and was my priority, is to be there for my kids. But it did mean 6 a.m. starts 7 days a week, or paying someone to be there on our behalf with no guarantee of the income covering that outgoing cost. So that if anyone that's run a bricks and mortar business, please put in the chat if you have, but you'll know that the stock, like the costs associated with that. So the stock, in our case, a lot of it was perishable, being food and drink. We've got the rent, the staff, the licenses that we had to pay, extortionate electricity costs. We paid 6K a year just in the bank fees from using the card, like the tap and go payments for that, and so many more payments. Staff was a massive issue. We had some incredible, amazing staff, some that are lifelong friends, and we're very blessed with that. But we also had never-ending dramas. We had our chef call from a police cell on Father's Day, on the busiest day of the year, saying this was his one call, but he'd got in a fight the night before. And that actually happened twice with the same guy. I ended up cooking in the kitchen on Mother's Day, and I'm not a chef. So if anyone else has had any, had their own business and had their own staff, just please share your experiences in the comments, because I'd love to know that I'm not alone to start with. So also just the responsibility aspect of that. So no one's ever going to care as much as you in your own business. So every decision, every problem, it all came down to onto us. So I remember the first night away we had after about a year of being in the business, and we actually took a night away for our anniversary, and we were woken up at 6 a.m. like with someone telling us that the wrong types of tomatoes had been delivered. And I just remember thinking, there is just no switch off button with a bricks and mortar business. So there's a big pressure to make sure that what's coming in is in excess of the constant stream of money that's going out, and dealing with that constant stream of problems as well. So if you have had that experience or any other similar business experience, I'd love to hear about that. We did love the community. We loved our customers and our staff. But I do remember thinking, like, is this really my purpose to, like, in life, to be serving people coffee and sugary cake, with constant pressure to keep our head above water? So we've got Lisa say, I have an online pet shop. It's very tough though, bricks and mortar, but not but put off by the costs. Yeah, exactly. So at least these days there's lots more options to do things online, but there's still obviously pressures there as well. So 4 years into our entrepreneurial journey with our cafe, doTERRA unexpectedly came into our lives. It was quite uninvited, actually. We were not expecting it, but it came along, and we had absolutely no intention of starting another business. I was certainly busy enough. I was still breastfeeding. I think I was still maybe just had my third child by then. And so yeah, I was still breastfeeding, still running this business 7 days a week. It was a very, very busy time for us. But all of us, we really loved these oils. I'd never really experienced a love of something other than people in the way that I felt about these oils. So we were having really profound experiences with them, and we were using them for all of our first aid. Our children were really thriving just with that low tox way of living. It was helping with emotions, and we were dealing with all toddler tantrums and all that sort of thing as well. And it was my own dealing with all of those types of tantrums, my own tantrums. And the oils just really, really was such a blessing for that stage in our life. And I couldn't help but share with other people. I couldn't stop talking about them. I couldn't stop telling everyone. I was giving out little remedies, little oil bottles to everyone. And I just had this underlying feeling that I was meant to be helping people with these oils, and that people needed to know about them. Like, why didn't people know about these oils? It just didn't make sense to me. But number one, I was busy with 3 children and a business. And I also, number 2, had a real problem with the multi-level marketing model. So I really didn't want to sell to my friends. I really didn't want to be doing things in my home. I didn't want things to feel icky and awkward and uncomfortable. I didn't want people to judge me. And I just really wanted to help people and make their lives better with the oils. And I just thought, well, why can't they just sell these in the shops? Like, why does it have to be multi-level marketing model? Why did they have to put me through all this discomfort, basically? So we actually tried that. We had a little retail area in the cafe, so we sold them. Well, we put them there to sell, but they really didn't sell. Maybe the odd one, but really every time we sold one, it was by really working with a person, saying, what do you need? And telling them all about what it could do and the quality of them, and really spending time with the customer to explain. And our staff didn't really have that knowledge. So it was like we really came to see that these oils are standing alone are not going to sell. They really require education and community. And that's really where the magic is with that. So we actually started running some little classes in our cafe. So people who introduced me to their oils, they came around some little workshops, some of our customers and friends, and we helped people set up their own doTERRA accounts, and they were paying the same prices as us. So I felt okay about that. Like everyone was paying the same price. And we just started to see the money coming in, and soon our oils were being paid for. And that felt really good. So I started to attend some business trainings, and that's when I really realized that I'd been holding on to some misconceptions and like a lot of prejudice and prejudgments about the model that I didn't even realize I had. Your subconscious has judgments about things that you don't even know where they come from. And I didn't even know what multi-level marketing was. I've never purchased any other anything from any MLM company before. So I was really quite blind or naive, I guess, about the whole thing. So multi-level marketing, what is it? In case you don't know either, it's sometimes called direct selling or sometimes called network marketing. And it's basically where a team of people are working together to support a customer. So when someone buys a product, there's a team of people that benefit from like small amounts of compensation from that order. But that creates a beautiful team environment that support that person with that education and support. So many people think that MLM is a pyramid scheme, and it is absolutely not a pyramid scheme. So pyramid schemes are illegal, and what they are is basically selling someone an opportunity. So you say, look, I will recruit 3 people, and those people need to recruit 3 people, and those people need to recruit 3 people. And if that happens, then you get paid. So there's no product, it's just an opportunity. I don't know if anyone was ever involved in like, oh, you've got to send someone a pair of knickers or send someone this, and you end up getting more, but the people at the bottom basically make nothing. So it is completely illegal thing, and it's absolutely not the model of doTERRA at all. So 85% of people who have a doTERRA account are just customers. They can't earn money. They don't even have their account doesn't have the capacity to earn money. So there's absolutely no demand ever to recruit other people. And most people don't. They're just customers. You can also easily outrank and out earn the person that introduced you. So it's not the case of just whoever's at the top earns the most. It's not the way it works at all. So in fact, when you think of a corporate structure, like I think, well, the person at the top is earning the most amount of money, and then the people at the bottom do all the work for less pay. I mean, if there was a pyramid scheme, that sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. But anyway, so with doTERRA, we never have to buy stock to sell on. So I love that. Like when I was traveling around Australia, people were ordering the oils directly from doTERRA, not from me. And we quite often didn't have internet connection, but every time they ordered, because they're part of our team, doTERRA would send us commission. So we were still earning, even though we were not having to handle any product at all. So I never buy oils other than the ones that I use personally for me. And that's different to a lot of other network marketing or, other systems where you have to buy it and then sell it on and pay a different price. I also love that everyone in doTERRA pays the same price. Just because you're doing the business doesn't make it any cheaper for you. You just earn a portion back of that commission. It makes it very even for everyone. So MLM is a legitimate income model, and it is now really widely accepted. So we'll dig a little bit into that. So in 2023, there was $38.6 billion paid out in MLM commissions. That's about $105 million a day paid in commissions, not the takings of the company, but actually paid out to people who are building the businesses. So 85% of those are female. So I think everyone on the call here is female this evening. Just having a quick look, I can't see all the names, but it's very common for women to be attracted to this. And actually, the most amount of female millionaires are due to MLM. So I think it's just absolutely brilliant for us women. It allows women to be at home with their children. This is so important for me. It's been the biggest gift to me. It also allows women to be connected with other people, and really develop those personal skills as well, rather than being sort of stuck in an office with the same people over and over, which sometimes can be a good thing if you've got good relationships, but sometimes it can be not good if it's not good relationships. And I love that it's really accessible to anyone. So there's no entry criteria. It's not like you have to have any type of qualification to set up a business. But I'm just gonna see if everyone could just make sure they're muted. So about 41% of direct sellers have either a bachelor's, master's or above in their level of education. So it does tend to attract a high number of like intelligent and educated women. So it's just because there's no entry criteria doesn't mean that it's people that can't get a job elsewhere. It's actually, you know, intelligent and educated women who are choosing this option. So whilst I initially hated the model, now that I properly understand it, so one a really good book that I read was called Go Pro by Eric Worre, and that really helped me to understand the model and the benefits. It's not, like he says, it's not perfect, but it is better. Like, it's a better model. And I really think it is such a powerful model, particularly for women wanting to create an income from home, whilst also having a positive impact, because it's not just about the money. It's about, well, what's the money. I like to think of it as my how much I'm financially rewarded is a direct reflection of the positive impact I'm making on people's health and their homes. And I love that you can treat it any way you like. So if you treat it like a hobby, you'll get a hobby income. If you treat it like a professional business, then you'll be paid a professional wage. And it's uncapped. There's no limit to that as well. So I was able to build to a diamond rank in the business in 2.5 years, which meant we were then able to sell our cafe in 2017 and rely solely on doTERRA for our income. So we then spent 3 years at home. So just me and my husband, both at home with our children full time, being able to make them our priority without job pressures. So this then led us to having the freedom to just pack up and get on the road when the whole world locked down, and just then create even more adventures with them. And I'm really, truly forever grateful that we took that plunge, and that, I did invest my time and my energy and effort whilst we still had the cafe and had 3 kids. Like, it was crazy. I'm not going to say that it was all just really simple and no effort, but I'm really glad that I put that effort in for those couple of years. And then we had that magical time with our children, and that really is the biggest gift and reward in my life. Like, that's my priority and my highest value. And I don't take that for granted, how lucky we are that the person who introduced us to the oils wasn't too shy or embarrassed or felt too awkward to speak up and show us what's possible with doTERRA. So even though it is a different way of doing things to the traditional way of earning. So I don't know whether I should add in what her, her logo, what's the word? Not logo. Anyway, she puts, when she's ever saying
the strap line.
Strap line. Yeah, exactly. So hers, it's really rude, but it's Jessie Reimers, if anyone knows her. She's got no filter, but she just says talk about the business, and she does hashtag don't be a dick. That's her hashtag. There we go. Because she's just like, stop holding people back from either accessing the oils or accessing what's available with the business. So I don't use those words, obviously. Anyway, so what I do love about the model, now that I understand it, so I love that I never have to carry any stock. I love that we could do that when we were traveling and still earning. And I also don't have to deal with any issues. So if someone's bottle breaks or the order's wrong or whatever, I don't have to deal with any of that. doTERRA have all the customer service there. They deal with all the shipping, everything. And I can just really focus on educating people and supporting them with the oils. And I don't have to worry about all those logistics, and I don't have to source the product. Like, I don't have to think about any of that side of things. Even the promotions, like doTERRA do all the promotions and they send them out, they fund them, they advertise them. Like, it really is like so much less thinking on that perspective from me. I love that it's minimal cost. So my only cost in the business is my own oils for my own personal use. I do have other minimal costs, like I choose to have my own website. You don't have to have one. doTERRA gives you one. I choose to give welcome gifts when people join. I choose to attend personal development, like trainings and events, but I don't have to do that. But, you know, comparing that to the relentless demands and costs associated with the bricks and mortar business, it really is absolutely incomparable. I love that I have no staff to pay and no staff to deal with. And obviously we had amazing staff as well, and the connection and love we have for them was amazing, but we still have that because we have incredible people in our team. So we still get to have that beautiful, connection with the people, but we don't have to, well, basically, if they wake up in jail, I don't have to go and cook breakfast. So that's definitely an advantage for me. I love the fact that I can do it anywhere in the world. So the fact that I could do it all the way, you know, traveling around Australia, that I could move my business from Australia to the UK. I live here, I was living there, I'm still paid by the same company. I'm really free, not restricted, or you know, it was just amazing to still have that income coming in, especially, you know, we really weren't doing any work or any education. You know, it was a big transition period where we moved and we were able to focus on where we were going to live and where our kids were going to get into school, and the money was still coming in, and I just really can't express my gratitude enough for that. So I love the compensation plan. I get rewarded for my efforts. I'm not limited to like waiting for a job promotion or having to suck up to anyone, or you know, my earning is completely within my control. And I am that mum that volunteers for every single school trip. I'm at every assembly, I'm at every school pickup, and I'm still earning the same or better than others who are stuck in an office or having to apply for time off with their children. So I do love how it rewards long term. And the big difference with doTERRA is that opportunity for the ongoing income. So this is really, really different to any other company. So we really are changing lives when people use these oils, because when people usually buy from a company like a direct selling or an MLM company, their average reorder rate, so the chance of someone ordering something again within a year, is about 6 to 12%. So that's the best companies, the ones that are doing it really, really well, and they sort of show off about it, they're sometimes doing between 20 to 24%. doTERRA's reorder rate is 75%. That is absolutely huge, and most people are not just ordering once a year, they're actually going on the loyalty rewards program, which is such a generous program, and that is where they're ordering at least something every single month. And the whole point is that we're teaching people how to live a more low tox lifestyle, so it's not an additional cost for people. This is not something that they're spending more on. They're no longer buying things from the pharmacy, they're no longer buying skincare products that were costing them a fortune, they're no longer buying shampoos or whatever, they're no longer buying cleaning products, so they're buying it through doTERRA instead. So it's not an additional cost for them. So when we teach people how to live this beautiful low tox life with these amazingly pure and potent essential oils, that every time they order, we continue to receive commission on that. So the residual income, that ongoing income from doTERRA, is absolutely incredible compared to any other company. So I'm still earning from people who came to a class maybe 8 years ago, and I haven't spoken with them since, but I can see that they're still ordering. I can see that they're still, when I look at their orders, they're clearly making their own cleaning products, which is cheaper for them, and they're clearly making their own body products. I can see what they're ordering, and it's like, wow, well, I had that impact, you know, it's stuck with them, and it's, you know, it's great financially for me, but it's really, really great to know that I'm still having a positive impact in their home all these years on, and it really gives me a sense of purpose, and knowing that I'm doing good, and I'm doing long-term good. So yeah, that really for me gives me that feel of purpose and impact. So although we have no staff, like not in the traditional sense, we're still so connected with so many gorgeous humans. We have an amazing and awesome team and community, and we really support and uplift each other. And the MLM model means that we are financially rewarded for helping others on the team to succeed. So this actually builds a really lovely team culture of support, because if other people do well, I'm going to do well. So actually working together literally means everyone's a winner. Everybody's winning together. So let's just have a little look at our lovely teams. We've got some of these people on the call tonight, so you might recognize some of these faces. Oh, Emma's saying, I love being able to help people and the positive feedback from them. Yeah, exactly. I love it too. So yeah, if you recognize any of these faces, feel free to put in the chat. I'd love to know if you've got any of your support people here on the call. We have plenty of others as well. I just couldn't fit them all on one screen. We've got Nicola, we've got another Ali, another Joe, many others too. And this is just in the UK. We've got the lovely Holly in the US. We've got Meg, Monica and Crystal in Australia, just to name a few. So lots and lots, and we are all here together. We run all sorts of things like boot camps and trainings, and we work upline, downline, crossline, really uplifting and supporting each other, knowing that momentum is key and that a rising tide lifts all boats. And we're all here to bring healing, and by connecting people with these amazing oils, we are all going to benefit. And the more people that hear or know about doTERRA, the more people it's definitely gaining that momentum snowball effect here in the UK. I can see that happening. Oh, no one's written anyone that they recognize in the chat. Oh, I met Kate and Lynn at the weekend. Perfect, Lisa. Lovely. Amazing. So here's the question everyone wants to know. How much am I going to make and how long is it going to take? I'll tell you with Eileen, yes. Lovely. So that's a very difficult question, because this is not like you get a job and you get paid this much. This is very much an entrepreneurial thing. So it really comes back to the amount of effort that you put in. So you can get lucky and have like a big builder enroll on your team, which can boost your income. But you can only go so far that way. The model won't let you just like ride off somebody else's success. So really it is structured so that each person is rewarded exactly for what they put in. So here's the official chart from the build guide, which shows the earnings, ranks and time. I know it's a bit small on the screen. So the foundational rank is elite. There's a couple of smaller ranks before that. This requires, so for example, elite requires an overall volume of you and anyone in your team anywhere, doesn't matter about structure or anything. I'm ordering 3,000 points in 1 month. So you'll know that every product has a point value. With the oils, it's roughly about the same. Like if something's £20, it's probably usually around 20 points. So if you had 30 people ordering 100 points, is that right? My maths right? Then you'd be elite. I think that's about right. But most people might order a bit more than that if they're wanting the free oil of the month or whatever. So it's, you know, it's a little bit variable. So that would earn on average 150 to 300 pounds a month and takes on average about 4 months to achieve. And you can see as the ranks go up, so does the income and so does the time to achieve those ranks. And I've broken it down on the next slide to be a bit clearer. But, you know, for example, Kate went diamond in 3 months. And, you know, so there's no, and I've known a number of people who went, I think Jessie, my upline, went diamond in 11 months. I think maybe Hayley Weezy went in 8 months, or maybe those two were the other way around. And then there's people that have been sitting at gold for 10 years and they're just really happy with that as a like a boost of their income, and they don't want to grow it any more than that. So it really is very, very unique, and you can build it to whatever level that you like. So if we look here at the earnings, you can see roughly with the different ranks. So with elite, it's about 1 to 300. Just jumping up, you can see about silver. So this is per month, so that's about £1,000 a month. Diamond is about £8,000 a month. But you know, when you first rank diamond, it's probably going to be less than that. But as the team grows, then it's going to be more. So these are just averages, and obviously the more people you have in your team, so it depends. If you're really well structured, you might have less people on the team, so the amount might actually be slightly less, but you get more bonuses. So there's lots and lots of variables. But up to presidential diamond, they're earning 50 grand a month, and that's not the limit, that's not the end. So there's plenty of people who are actually double presidential diamonds and triple presidential diamonds. It doesn't just stop there, you can keep going as high as you want. So in terms of time investment and the average time to take that rank, again, this is averages, so it's very different. But one thing I notice is that actually the time investment is most at around the diamond level. So these are the people that, you know, pretty much when you're diamond, you've quit your job. Well, I'd quit my job, and you're managing a whole team and really helping other people to start getting to that point where they're quitting their job if that's what they want to do. So then it starts to taper off. So actually, you know, the diamonds are doing a lot of work still. Yeah, Jessie Ryman's is my enroller. She's a presidential diamond. There's in our upline we've got Teresa Harding. I think she's a double or triple presidential. Natalie and Andy Goddard they're at least a double. And Adishan Santoshi, they are in Australia and they're presidential diamond as well. But currently in the UK there is only one presidential diamond. And that just blows my mind how small this market is here. Like the population of the UK is 3 times that of Australia in such a smaller condensed space. There is so much potential here. So I feel like our team is here to change that, and it's happening already. It's happening rapidly. Obviously, we've had Kate join our team, and she's introduced loads of people into our team. So it really is happening. There's huge momentum. So it's an absolutely brilliant time to be getting involved. So why doTERRA? So for me, being part of a movement that's helping people with their health really gives me, I feel like my life has value. I mean, it sounds kind of, I don't know, cliche or corny, but that is really true in my heart, that I feel like I'm doing something that's really of value, especially when I worked with corporate companies that aren't really there for the people. And then, yeah, at the cafe, just people wanting foods that I don't really now agree with. The more I learn about health, the more I don't really agree with what we were serving. So this feels really aligned for me. So moving people, helping people turn towards the earth for solutions. Like Mother Earth has so much chemistry that is so good for us, over and above the synthetics that are being created and generated for profit. So also helping people turn inwards for their own self-reflection and connection, rather than looking outwards for something to fix them, but actually knowing that we have solutions within our home and feeling really empowered. That was a big feeling for me, knowing I could fix a problem, or whatever was happening with my children, and knowing that I had the solution was a really, really empowering feeling. And I love being able to help other people feel that too. So our family has used almost no pharmaceuticals in 10 years now, other than a broken wrist and a knee replacement. So anyone that's been to any of our classes knows about that. But we have just created a beautiful, nourishing, low tox environment. And I know that this has had a really positive impact on my children's physical and emotional health, and mine as well. And I'm really, again, just grateful for that, and would love for other people to experience that. And again, I'm financially compensated just for teaching others how to do the same and how to feel good. So for me, it feels like a win-win. And I said it before, but my financial compensation is a direct reflection of the positive impact that I'm having on the health and lives of others. And as a sideline, that's really helped me with my ability to receive, which is something that I used to struggle with, and something that I've had to work on in terms of my own personal development as well. And I hope if you're on this call that you're already aware of, well, firstly, the corruption in the essential oil industry, but more importantly, how doTERRA are just the absolute gold standard for quality and transparency in the essential oil industry. And they've really lifted the essential oils into people's lives. So I love that we're working with the best product that's available. I've always said that my true business partner is actually Mother Earth, and doTERRA they are currently the best vehicle, I guess, for bringing that chemistry from Mother Earth into our homes in really accessible little bottles. And that's why I partner with them. Like if they were to change their standard for quality, I would say, well, I'm not going to partner with them. My partner is actually the earth. And my loyalty lies with that purity of nature. And currently doTERRA is the most honorable steward that Mother Earth has for bringing these oils to us. And so that's why I choose them. And so I hope you know about Source to You, their website, where you can look up literally the exact compounds that are in your batch of oil, and see where they've come from, see how they're lifting the communities that they're in. Hopefully you know about the Roseman University study, where they took all the oils across the globe and found that doTERRA, there were actually only 3 companies globally who were producing all actual pure essential oils. But then there's a big difference between purity and potency, and doTERRA really are the only company out there with the most potent medicinal standard oils that are available. And I hope you're aware about essential oil adulteration and how corrupt that is. So if you're not, please come along to an introductory workshop, or have a look in our Ditch and Switch Facebook group and community, and just search for all the info and like threads that have been spoken about it before as well, because there's lots of information on it, or just ask in any of the chats or groups that you're in. So alongside that purity and potency of the oils, we have the heart of the company. So doTERRA's heart really is about lifting the communities of those who are growing the oils. So Firstly, they do the on-time fair payments, which we would expect. But they go way above and beyond that in terms of really wanting to find out what the challenges are, not only for the farmers, but for the whole community. So together with their Healing Hands Foundation, they have the capacity to go in and not just work with the farmers, but look at the whole community and see what it needs. So it might be clean, safe drinking water. It might be, they might need schools. A lot of these places, they weren't educating the kids. They weren't going to school, or medical facilities, or it might be menstruation education that they did in Nepal, or they've done in lots of places. Actually, in Nepal, they were able to go in and build 600 homes after, and earthquake stable homes after they got destroyed in the earthquake. So they really do go in and want to lift the community. Their aim is to have lifted 3 million people out of poverty by 2030. And they're currently sitting at about 1.5. So they're on track to meet that goal, which is just incredible. So it's called co-impact sourcing because it's impacting both sides of the bottle. So it's impacting us with the best possible oils, but it's also impacting every person that touches the bottle along the way, right back to those farmers. So it's both sides of the bottle. And it really is the decision, like the heart of every decision they make. So and I've seen that with my own eyes. And if you've ever seen Emily Wright speak, who's, she's one of the founders of the company, she's really made sure that that is the center of this company, and they don't have to make decisions based on money. Obviously it's a business, but it is 100% privately owned. So they were offered to be bought out when they were trying to set up and start an investment, and the investors wanted 51%, and so they didn't want to agree to that, and so they end up leveraging all their own properties, and like really struggling to make sure that they could just basically have it privately owned. And once they've been through that really tough time, they're like, well, we are never going to float this on the stock market. We're never going to have to make decisions based on, well, the shareholders are demanding profits, therefore we're going to have to cut corners here. They will never have to do that because they're committed to being always 100% privately owned, which means their decisions are based about what's best for us using the oils and what's best for those growing the oils as well. And I've seen it with my own eyes. They really live by that. And then we've got the compensation plan. So I really love the compensation plan. There's a lot to it. It can be seen as quite complicated, but that's because actually there's so many different ways that we can get paid and get benefit from that as well. So I do have a full breakdown of that in little videos. It is still in Australian dollars. My apologies. It's going to be updated soon. But they are tweaking the compensation plan. So I'm not going to be updating it until I've found out what those tweaks are, but you can see now how it is. It's exactly the same, you just convert it from Australian dollars into pounds. It's also a willable business. So we are actually creating a legacy for our family when it's not going to die with us, which I love as well. And I just want to show you just very briefly this chart, because this kind of sums up a little bit of the essence of the compensation plan. So doTERRA's compensation plan is basically upside down. So if you imagine, we don't have a pyramid structure, it doesn't ever look like that. But if you just say, imagine that it is, you are generally going to have more people the further down your tree you go. So say if you had 3 people on your front line, and then each of those had 3 on their front line, and each of those had 3 on their front line. It never looks that pretty. I wish it did, but it doesn't. But other companies, what they do is they pay the larger percentage compensation on that front line, the people close to you. So there's less people. And then as you go deeper, so obviously you've got 3 people, then you've got 9 people. Oh, you can't read the other one. It's blurry. Oh, sorry. Well, if you watch the compensation plan videos, it will show you. But essentially, other companies, they will decrease the percentage of what you get. So as the number of people increases, they'll pay you less percentage on those because there's more people. And then the next level, they'll pay you less and they'll pay you less. So doTERRA literally does that in reverse. So they pay the least amount of compensation. So 2% of those on the front line, but then that grows. So as the number of people grow down with each level, they pay you a larger amount, a larger percentage compensation. So up front, initially, when you start the business, when I started the business, I was like, I'm getting paid rubbish. Like, this is not really good at all. But then it has this tipping point, and it ends up, and I can't read it either, so I apologize, but we end up earning just I wish I could read it. I think it's like 3 or 4 times more than them for having the exact same number of people in exactly the same positions with the exact same commission structure, but just upside down. So it does reward that whole, what's the word? Non-instant, what's the instant rewards? What's the word for, what do we say for that? Delayed gratification. That's what I'm thinking of. It rewards delayed gratification. It's not that delayed, but you know, it will have, once we hit that tipping point, it's absolutely incredible what we can earn. So there are 3 pathways in doTERRA: live, share, and build. So the first one is live. Oh, great. Imelda saying if you Google doTERRA compensation plan, you'll see a PDF which explains this really well. Brilliant. Thanks, Imelda. So yeah, the first one is live. So I actually like to call this love, because the 85% of people are just loving the oils, and they just use them for themselves. So they never share with other people, but they will often continue to order for life because they are replacement cost rather than that additional cost. So as business builders, we're going to be earning ongoing commission from these people, just by continuing to educate them on the benefits of the low tox lifestyle. Or once it's their habit and it sticks, you know, like I said, there's people I haven't spoken to for years, but they're still doing it. So it's just about having that long-term impact on people. We can really benefit from having that impact. The second one is share. So this is really people who are looking for like a hobby business. They just want their oils paid for, maybe supplement their income a little bit. So really this is free healthcare. So their oils are paid for. They might share with their friends and family. Some of them might set up like a Facebook page and post little bits of information here and there, or have like a WhatsApp chat or something. They'll often come to events so that they're up to date on, you know, the products, and, you know, they're still, you know, engaged in the community. And they just love the oils and they want others to experience the benefits too. So they'll often get help and support from their upline, and the upline or the community as a whole will provide the resources, and they can link their people into the resources and groups that are already there and already available. So we have a number of people on our team who've just hosted a couple of workshops. There was one lady, she actually only hosted 1 workshop, but she did introduce our lovely Monica Christie, who's one of our silver leaders in Australia. And Monica decided to go on and build the business. And this lady said, yeah, well, I'm happy to continue supporting you. She was really great support for her, but she wasn't interested in doing the business herself. But she just, you know, shared, she just had a little party at her house or workshop at her house. But she ended up for her 40th birthday being able to pay for a cruise for her family of 4 because just of the income that had come in from doTERRA. So she was getting free oils, but it was coming in that little bit more. Obviously, that's not typical because we don't always go and enroll somebody who ends up being a big builder, but it can be. Yeah, even if you don't, it can be a really good way of supplementing your income. And then there is the building pathway. So these are really for people who want to actually do this as a business. So they'll have that business mindset. So this is either supplementing, replacing, or increasing the income. So the profile of this type of person would be someone who's, well, obsessed with personal growth, I would say. It is really, we always say it's a personal development company wrapped up in essential oils, like it's personal development first, and the oils follow. So they do need to be willing to do the inner work. So I've faced so many things, much rejection and judgment, and there's so many times when I could have retreated. And at the beginning, particularly when I first started running classes and they were so rubbish and I felt so embarrassed, and it would have been very easy to quit and retreat in that moment. But I stepped into the growth and how can I learn from this? And we see that again and again. Those who are successful in the business are the ones that are willing to look at what that's triggering inside them and stepping towards that, and then helping other people step towards their inner work as well. So ideally, these people have business experience, but not always. But that entrepreneurial mindset of like, what can I create, rather than, you know, as an employee, we're used to, well, I give my time, I get this amount of dollars, and what can I get from this? It's really about what can I create, what can I give? Like, this isn't working, so how can I leverage this? And it's a really good opportunity to be creative. And they're solutions focused, so always looking for ways to, leverage whatever's going on, because things do change, like COVID, or all of a sudden we've got, you know, more things are online, so things are changing all the time. But really they want to make a big impact on themselves, also on others, and they also have capacity to launch a business. So both with time and mindset wise as well. It is totally possible to do this along full-time work. Plenty of people do that, but it does require like focus on it and discipline to be able to manage to build that pipeline while it's happening. So your investment, the only investment doTERRA require to run a business is simply the 100-point order on the loyalty rewards program each month. So this, by doing 100 points on the loyalty rewards program in any month, any 1 month, that gives you access to the commissions of anyone in your team. So I love this because it ensures people are magnetic. It means that there's not people like selling doTERRA online, but they're not personally using the oils themselves. So it's people who believe in it and really want the best for others. Well, the only other thing I'd say about that is actually it's a great thing that it's such a minimal investment, but sometimes it can actually be a problem because if you imagine someone opening up a shop or even an online store or a cafe like we did, we had to create a business plan and we did research and we invested in all the supplies and we really sought to understand what was going on. And obviously we're investing our own capital, so we're really fired up to and motivated to make sure this business has to succeed. But when there isn't that skin in the game, I guess it does mean that people can just, oh well, if they stop, no one sort of notices. So it's really important to keep connected and accountable. And the real investment isn't financial at all. It's your action. It's doing the pipes and connecting with people. So we'll go through briefly what I mean by the pipes. I realize I'm talking a lot at you. Feel free to interject with any. How much do you have to buy a month to make 100 points? Well, again, it's roughly 100 points to £100. But for us, because we're not buying any cleaning products, any pharmaceuticals, any like I buy all my supplements through them, my toothpaste, my shampoo. So it's not an additional cost for us at all. So the pipeline. So what we're doing is actually building a financial pipeline. So I was used to a job where I would trade my time for money, and the more time I gave, the more money I would take home, even though it was like set. I had to give a certain amount of time and then I would take home that set amount of money. And what I was doing was just hauling buckets back and forth. So you imagine the river, you've got the collecting the water from the river, and then you walk it back to the village and sell the water there. And the more we walk back and forth, the more we haul the buckets, the more money we're going to make. But if we can give that little extra bit of time every day, so after hauling the buckets back and forth and still doing the job, just laying that extra little bit of pipeline down. So just having that consistency of each day, just doing a little bit, just having that discipline and focus to always just do that little bit extra than everybody else. But eventually there's going to be a full pipeline from the river to the village. And you imagine the villager sitting there and he just turns the tap on and he's got this continuous flow of water and he doesn't need to walk back and forth and he's got continual flow of income. So that's the idea. We're going to every day just be giving that little bit extra so that we can then, hopefully, if you're not enjoying your job, that's something that you can either give up or cut back on, or maybe you really love it and it's just an extra income for you. So whatever feels right for you. But this is what a doTERRA pipeline looks as we build it. So we do have a full pipes training. So this is just a tiny snapshot of what's involved. But the pipes actually stands for prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. So preparing is really about ourselves and also our business. So for me, it's a lot about the personal development and making sure that I'm working on myself. But then there's also the preparations of, for me, it's making sure I've got printouts of of the class outline that I teach in classes. It's things like, obviously creating the slides for things like this. So there's preparation that goes into things on a logistical and practical level. Inviting is bringing people into the business. So actually, or not to the business, into the product. So actually growing a network or, leveraging other people's networks so that we've got an audience, and that can be online or that can be in person. And likewise presenting, so giving people that education and information about the oils, because the oils don't sell themselves. People don't know what to do with them or understand them necessarily. So giving that education and presenting them, whether it's online or in person or a combination of the both, is actually brilliant as well. And then there's enrolling them, so helping them actually to open their account, and then they become part of our community, and then they get access to obviously be able to see so much more of what's going on, and you can handhold them through to that support. We've got so much support available on our team, so there's free courses for anyone who joins. And if you're part of our team, then anyone you introduce is automatically part of our wider team, so they get full free access to everything. So I've created a ditch and switch course, a menopause course, an ADHD course. I've got Share a Drop, which is teaching people how to actually share the oils. We had night schools, so there's all the videos from that. I know Joe's running boot camps for people that are joining. So there's actually almost too much. So it's almost about like signposting, just to make sure it's really clear and simple for them, and giving them what they need for that next step as well. So getting started, if you are feeling like this is for you, whether it is, well, loving the oils, but if you're wanting to earn, then obviously sharing them, or building a business, and at whatever level that feels right for you, the first stage really is to just fall in love with the oils, with that low tox lifestyle, with doTERRA, like the company, and understanding its values and what it's doing out there in the community, and doing for these farmers and their communities. It is an incredible company, and also with the community, because there's so many beautiful connections. I'd say, you know, really have made some of the best friends of my life through doTERRA. I think it just draws and attracts the most amazing people who are willing and wanting to heal others, and just with really lovely hearts. So I really just think, just take that time to discover it and have it sort of, I feel like it's in the cells of my body that this is, you know, where I belong. So that's definitely the first step, is just fall in love. Also come to understand the loyalty rewards program. So this is really so beneficial for getting the best value from the oils, because we get so many freebies, but obviously helping other people to see the value in the loyalty rewards program, and replacing things on an ongoing basis in their home. So it's not that additional cost, but it's a replacement cost. And that way, that is what gives us the residual income. So it's really worth getting to understand LRP. So I haven't put it on here actually, but on my YouTube channel, there's a video called How to Nail LRP. And that gives quite a few tips on that as well. And secure your real estate. So when we're doing the business, from the sort of strategy chess point of view, this is like the only kind of strategy bit away from the heart, well, it's still heart-based, but it is so much better for us. Although with the new compensation plan, this may not be so critical, so watch this space. But if we have powerful, well, other people who are willing to do the business, if we have them involved in our business earlier on and put them in strategic positions on our front line, it helps them and it helps you. So if you have an idea, or if you've got an idea of, I think this person would really be really interested in this, don't wait a year before you speak to them about it. Speak to them now, because if they are interested, they can have a much better position in your business, and they're gonna be so much better off, and it's going to be much better for you as well. So I always say, like, try and think of 3 people that might potentially be good. It doesn't mean they have to do it. It doesn't mean it's like an awkward conversation or anything, but just start thinking in your brain strategically wise about who that might be, to make life easier. And not yet, but when you have someone ready to enroll, we would ask you to upgrade your account from wholesale customer to wellness advocate. Literally, this is just a button in the back office, but it means you can then earn with doTERRA, and you can have people placed underneath you. But a caveat to that, it's best to wait until you've actually got your first person to enroll, because we can actually move you to the best, most strategic place for you once you press the button. But if you press it straight away, we have to make that decision as soon as you join. So if you've got someone ready to enroll, that's great. And if you've already pressed it, don't worry, it's all good. We can work with wherever you are. But yeah, once you've got your first person to enroll, reach out to your upline, chat with them, and that will be a good time to press that button. And getting connected. So if you haven't yet already, I think everybody here on the call is already got a doTERRA account, but if you haven't, go back to the person who introduced you to doTERRA, and they'll help you open your doTERRA account. If that is me, obviously feel free to reach out to me. But we've got so much going on. So we've got a Facebook group. So my Facebook group is the Ditch and Switch community. There's other Facebook groups as well. There's many other leaders in our team, and you might be in their group and it can be overwhelming. Obviously that means you're automatically part of mine as well, but there can be too many groups, too many Facebook groups, too many WhatsApp. So feel where feels good for you. But yeah, we've got a WhatsApp chat, we've got a business one and a customer one. I know Kate, so You'll Make Ginger Cake, she's got a Mighty app as well. So there's lots of places that you can connect it into for support. There's also lots of training. So I know boot camp is happening for Kate's team at the moment. So again, reach out to your upline to key into that, or if you want to take part in that and create videos with that, obviously we'd love to have you part of that. We've got our courses. We've got lots in the guide section of the Ditch and Switch group. There's also the pipes training. So this now, no, this isn't boot camp. No, boot camp is specifically helping people with their top 10 oils. It's in a Facebook group. If you reach out to who's your upline, Maya? Well, okay, thank you. Well, whoever it is, reach out to them and they'll connect you. We don't know. Okay, if you stay on afterwards at the end, we can help you find out. We've also got the pipes training. So we do training as a team. At the moment, we're doing it every Monday night. So on the last Monday of every month, we meet on Zoom just to sort of check in. How are you doing? What's going well for you? What's not? And it's a nice just kind of chance for us to connect and get together. And then the other ones, we actually do the pipes training. So going through like the actual nitty gritty of what you do, how to do it, and obviously share resources and that sort of thing as well. And then doTERRA themselves have a whole training portal. So training.doterra.com, you just put in your doTERRA ID and you can access. Some of the courses are free, some of them are paid. There's business ones, there's product ones, but they've got some great support as well. There's so many different places to get support. So I think it's just really good idea to connect in with your upline and ask where are going to be the best things that are going on for you. doTERRA Corporate are also running events right across the UK. So there's the autumn tour coming up. So you can just Google that. I think the London one is on the 12th of November, sort of NW2 area. And then we've also got a brilliant team training happening on the 9th of November. So that's a Saturday. I think that's going to be in the afternoon. And that's with UK leaders like from all different teams right across the UK. So actually Dot Morehouse is going to be talking about the power of the MLM model and why she loves it so much. We've got someone who's really good at running online classes and teaching how she actually sets that up for really good success. We've got little home hacks, so how to use the oils in a way. So a real mix of product and business, but keying into all different teams right across the UK so we can all learn from each other. So that's going to be brilliant as well. So the Eventbrite link for that we'll post that in some of the WhatsApp chats, hopefully tomorrow, if not very soon. So lots and lots going on. So I'll just leave you with this lovely picture of our van on Palubi Beach in South Australia. We had such a happy time here. And so many places we just didn't want to leave, and this was definitely one of them. So I just hope it reminds you that an everyday mum like me with literally no network, no social following, no time, but just a belief and a passion about the oils, and then having consistency and the right support, and with that you really can create an extraordinary life. So my contact details are here. My Calendly is a bit out of sync at the moment, so it's probably best to just shoot me a WhatsApp message and arrange a chat. But I'm happy to chat with anybody. If someone else, if you whoever your upline is, if someone introduced you to the team, we can do a three-way chat. So with that person and you and me, so we can all work together just to support you. But I'm just willing to support anyone on our team who's showing up, taking action. It can be imperfect action. In fact, pretty much all my action is imperfect, but I'm willing to evolve. So please do just reach out in your imperfect form and we'll just get going. So, oh, brilliant. Linda's posted the link to the bootcamp. Thanks, Linda. That's fantastic. So I'll stop recording now and then you can ask any questions that you like. So let me work out how to stop the recording. This is where I struggle. See, don't need good tech skills either. Oh, where has it gone?